Thailand. So not a team that I'm particularly familiar with. I don't know if I could name any of their players, past or present, but it was a shirt that I saw on the Subside website and was quite excited by how it looked and not disappointed at all, actually. It's a local brand called Warwick's. Not familiar, but from looking at this, they're pretty good at what they do, to be honest. The badge itself is kind of more rubberized than plastic in the way that it feels. It's not super thick. It's got a nice texture through it. You've got the same texture and matching colour on the Warwick's logo on the front. The body is like a waffle texture fabric, which isn't something we see very often on football shirts anymore.
Yeah, it's nice.
But it's got a really nice hand feel to it. It's a good weight. Over the shoulders, it's a little bit more shiny, and it's not really a rib structure, but it's definitely got that raised rib element to it, which again is a really nice fabric in its own right. In isolation, I would say that perhaps the shine and the dull fabric don't really go together, but looking at the Thailand emboss on the front there of the map of the country, then that really does play nicely into the fabric on the sleeve. So all in, the first impression's really good. The collar is made well, it's neat and tidy. It's got a little bit squashed in the packaging, but I would expect that to iron out. The buttons, a little bit tight, quite hard, more like regular polo shirt buttons, but we'll forgive them that. Not too much detail on the back, but not necessarily a bad thing given what's happening on the front. Again, we've got the little Thailand flag as the loop label in the back of the collar. As far as we're aware, this is the one that's worn by the players and the fans, and it feels like something that would work for both. I think the collar's fastened down, so you wouldn't have any issues with that flapping about as you were running.
So what would you give it out of 11?
I am going to score this a nice high 8. I think it's lacking innovation, but in everything else, I think it's got what you'd want from a football shirt. The other thing is it's not super expensive compared to the big brands either, so all in, I'd be really happy with that, I think, if I was from Thailand or playing for the Thai national team. So I'm going to give that a good solid 8.
Wow.